To get started on the contest, you want to connect to the DSS Web Focus server. Clicking on it, you can use the credentials that you were provided. Now that you're signed in, you can click on the Web Focus server, and you'll see that there is a Contest 2019 domain. And there is also, under Data Servers, you will see that there is Contest 2019. You can click on this button here and you'll be able to see the master file that we're going to be working with, which is well water data. To get familiar with the data, let's create a quick report. I'm going to right click on my content on our Contest 2019. I'm going to say New Report. And then we're going to pick our data. That is the well water data master file. Here we can see our data model that we're going to be working with. We have a few different measures, so we're able to work with wells that have E. coli results, coliform results. We can also see how many wells exist and how many wells were tested and how many tests were done in each different well. So let's start by just looking at how many wells we have in our database. So we can drag number of wells and number of wells tested and the number of tests that were done. And if we run our report, you can see here that we're working with about 28,000 wells, 5,000 of them that have been tested, and there's about 14,000 test results that we have in our data set. So that's an example of some of the data that we can work with. Now let's apply some dimensions to this. Let's add some additional information based on location by dragging the township field into the report. If we run it again, we can now see that the data is broken down by all of the different townships in the area that we are studying. Now, there are also different well properties that exist, and you can use these well properties to add additional fields into the report. You can also use these additional fields as a filter. So we do have a flag here about whether or not the well was abandoned. So we're going to use that as part of a filter. So if we go filter, where, we're going to pick the well properties field. I'm going to double click on abandoned. In here, we can actually say that the value false. So here we are looking for wells where the flag is set to false, so where they are not abandoned. So we can click OK again. If we run a report, we'll now see that these numbers have changed again. So that's a quick example of how you can work with some of the measure variables that exist and how you can slice and dice the data according to different dimensions that are available in the data set. Another thing that we can do is we can actually get some details about the lab year and quarter that the lab data was collected. So again, we could drag that onto our field here and get rid of township, say delete. And then we'll just run a report again. And here we can see that we have a breakdown of some data. So here you'll see that the number of wells that has a period or there's no value for the year that data was collected. These wells here are all the ones that have not been tested. And then these are the wells, the number of wells that were tested in 2015, 16, and 17. So you can see here that we have about 2 years worth of data within the data set.